Good day, fellow observers. Today we are going to do the Town of Hempstead Sanitation Department test for version 12.5.4. It's gonna be a 27-minute drive, 12 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, FSD is activated. We are at a parking spot. And I'd like to see if FSD will move on its own, or maybe I should press the pedal. Okay, so I think I need to press the pedal here. Okay, good. Slow down, but it accelerated quickly, though. I have to say that. I would have accelerated quickly, but you see, we're going to turn, right? It should have had made a left turn earlier instead of making a right. That would make its life easier. So I think it's gonna make a left here. Okay, good cautious advance. Okay, if there are other cars, I would have disengaged.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Hempstead Turnpike.
Because it was a bit unsure, as evidenced by the twitching of the steering wheel. That's how I would interpret it. So alrighty. Okay, so interesting here.
Now turn left onto Hempstead Turnpike.
Okay, I would have to disengage here because it's trying to make a left. So I'm gonna disengage because it's trying to make a left at as we go straight. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, that was wrong. I didn't know that you could make a left from there. Okay, my bad. So that was a disengagement, but actually FSD was right. So I think it's the second or third time that I disengaged, but actually FSD was correct in doing that maneuver, but I disengaged it. Now we are going straight. We just had the green, and we're going to turn right to Meacham Avenue.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Meacham Avenue.
Okay, FSD is able to follow the lane boundaries. Now we are making a right
now
here.
Turn right onto Meacham Avenue.
Okay, good slow down here. Now the thing is, okay, good, cautious slow down. So I have to press the accelerator because FSD is stopping. I think it's because it's seeing a pedestrian at the corner. Now we are continuing straight here. Okay, good. We are crossing several green lights and then a flashing yellow light. Okay, I almost pressed the brakes there because of that van advancing. Alright, so we are advancing now. We had the green.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Dutch Broadway.
Now let's see if we'll make this one. Oh no, we won't make it. So we'll have to wait for the next green.
Now turn left onto Dutch Broadway.
Okay, now we have a green light. So I'm pressing the accelerator here because it's very unsure on its advance. And let's see, will it make a lane change? Okay, good. So the car on the right side was not moving fast, but okay, I mean, I thought it was making a lane change because it wants to go there, but now we're heading straight. Now let's see how this will turn out. Okay, now we are advancing.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Franklin Avenue.
And we're going to make a right here. Okay, now this is a good experiment.
Now turn right onto Franklin Avenue.
Well, actually, no, it's not a good experiment. It would have been good if we are the car that's in front, because the last time we were here, FSD thinks that it can make a turn on red, but there is a big sign, glaring sign right here that says no turn on red. So at that time when it attempted the right turn, I disengaged actually. All right, we have a green light, green arrow, I mean.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Park Drive. Then take the Southern State Parkway East ramp on the left. Now turn left onto Park Drive.
Okay, good. All right, we had a window here, so that was
Now
good.
take the Southern State Parkway East ramp on the left.
Good left turn, and now we merge to Southern State. I'm a bit of a tongue-tied commentator right now. Okay, so let's see, will FSD continue? Okay, good. It advanced, and I thought FSD will do it in a very unsure manner, but it accelerated prior to moving to this lane, so that was good. Now, good decision here. FSD is sticking to the rightmost lane. I think my theory is becoming more consistent, that it's preferring to stay here because of the weather. Okay, good adjustment with speeds here, slowing down. Now we are making the lane change. Okay, so I disengaged because the car on the left side was veering to the right, and I was supposed to honk, but by that time it already moved to within its lane boundary. So now I'm re-engaging it. So as you can see here, this SUV here is a bit veering to the right, and I think it's the second time I'm observing it doing that. So that's why I'm kind of on guard to disengage, because I don't know if it will just go to this lane suddenly. Now, just a time check, travel update, 10 minutes, 6.5 miles. Okay, now as you can see here, there's a ramp that is gonna be going to our lane, and there will be several vehicles that will be merging, and let's see how FSD will adjust here. Okay, so we are trying to make a lane change, but it postponed because it doesn't have enough room. And okay, so no cars merging in front of us. Okay, it canceled again. It's in these cases that I'm very watchful, because from my several drives, not only for 12.5.4, it's in these situations that FSD might attempt and partially commit to a lane change, and then suddenly goes back to the previous lane, even though it should have been able to make that lane change. Now, as you can see here, okay, so I disengaged because FSD was very unsure, and I'm gonna make the lane change myself, and that's what I was referring to. So it was hesitating, and if FSD is hesitating, then the driver will be thinking that something's up, and more likely disengagement will happen. And now I activated FSD. Okay, good lane change here. We have enough room. Okay, so we have a lane change attempt, and that's why it's slowing down. So good lane change here.
In 1 mile, take exit 22S on the right onto Meadowbrook Parkway south toward Jones Beach.
Okay, good lane change. We have enough room.
Now take exit 22S on the right.
Okay, that was a sudden lane change to the right, but okay, I'll take it. Okay, so we are going straight here and exit in 1.8 miles. Okay, good lane change.
In 1 mile, take exit M9E on the right onto East Merrick Road.
Okay, so we are going to make a lane change soon. Okay, thank you. So the car behind us gave way. Okay, so now we are slowing down.
Now take exit M9E on the right.
Okay, good. Okay, all right, we should have enough room. Good. Now we are
In 500 feet, turn right.
1 minute away, 0.2 miles.
Now turn right. In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Okay, so I'm gonna disengage here because we're going to turn this way. Now let me just go inside and then give my takeaways. So today we actually had a test where an additional factor is introduced, and that is the rain. So right now I think the rain has stopped at this location, and let me just go from where we started. So we activated FSD at a parking lot, and it could have made a left and the exit was right there, but then went to the right, turn around, and then crossed the stop, and then went to the right lane. And I think that was the first time that FSD went to the right lane, because usually it went to the left lane. And actually this was a conceptual misunderstanding to me. I thought that the right lane will only go straight, but turns out you can make a left as well. Now because of that conceptual misunderstanding, I disengaged because I thought that FSD is making a left even though it's not supposed to make a left. And it turns out when I saw it as I was driving myself that there was a way to make a left. So I was wrong there too. It was an unnecessary disengagement, I have to say. And then it went straight and then went right to Meacham, and then it passed through green lights and a flashing yellow, and we didn't make it for the left turn to Dutch Broadway, and we waited. And once we had the green, the thing is though, FSD was slow in accelerating, slow to the point that for me I should have advanced already, so I had to press the accelerator there. And then FSD went straight after that. There was a car on the right that didn't move right away for the green light, and FSD made a lane change to make a lane change to the right lane. And actually I thought that it's gonna go to keep right at the fork, but it didn't. It went straight ahead and made a right to Franklin Avenue. Now the thing is, Franklin Avenue is a no turn red, but we didn't get to test if FSD will make a right even though it's a no right turn spot. So because the thing is, there was a car right in front of us, so FSD didn't have that chance. So we went right there, and then we made a left and then merged to Southern State Parkway. It was able to merge, and it had postponed several lane change attempts because it didn't have enough space. And then there was this one lane change that it tried to do, but it was very unsure. Like, it committed partially and then went back. And so I was holding the steering wheel and to disengage, and then I drove myself to make that lane change. And then it went straight again, and then lane change to the passing lane. But then after a mile or so, it went back to the middle lane and then to the right lane, because it's going to exit to Meadowbrook on the right. So it exited, and then we went straight. We made a lane change to the middle lane and eventually went back to the rightmost lane. I thought that was a short notice lane change to the rightmost lane before exiting towards Merrick Rd, because there was not enough space, but I saw the car on my right that it gave enough space. So shout out to that car, and also to the SUV earlier. I didn't mention SUV giving us some space, so just want to mention that too during this takeaway. And we exited here. I think it was a bit slow, but the thing is, when it was exiting, it's not that it was slow actually. Now that I think about it, I was so used to the higher speeds to the point that once it goes out and slows down, I would think that it's super slow. But it turns out that speed all along this time, every time I test it, pretty much. Now I have to keep that in mind, because I would easily complain with these drives that, oh, when you exited it's so slow, but it turns out it was not. I was just running fast, and once it hits slow, I would say it's too slow, even though that was the recommended speed limit. So yeah, just want to highlight that, because in addition to having FSD perspective on these things, I think the human perspective also needs to be mentioned. Like, there might be some, there might be some misconceptions about it, because this is how I feel about it. But it turns out if we look at the speed, the data, it was pretty consistent all this time. But it was just the fastest speed you have prior to exiting, and that would determine like if I commented commented, oh, it's too slow on exit or it's just right on exit. So yeah, just want to get it off my chest first. And then once we arrived here, it was okay. I drove myself right before the all-way stop. And yeah, so 12.5.4, you know, there are good things on it. Let me see, what are the good things? I think it's still an okay version. I haven't tested it yet with the remaining tests, so my feedback still needs more information. So yeah, and then we'll be able to see in a more holistic perspective how 12.5.4 is. So yeah, this is the Town of Hempstead Sanitation Department test. And if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.